Larry, good to see you. Today, we're going to talk through the top financial planning misses for people in their 30s and 40s. So again, we're going to talk through the 5 key areas that most people who are younger miss when it comes to financial planning and building wealth. So first, you say these investors need to make sure they have a robust emergency fund.
Absolutely. Yeah, Aaron, they need to have, 3 to 6 months worth of their earnings in case of a job loss, that they're not expecting,
Mhm.
or certainly something, the car breaks down, a air conditioner, HVAC breaks down. They want to make sure they have access to those funds without having to borrow at a lot much higher cost.
Right, absolutely. Next, you say they need to protect their wealth and earning potential. That means life insurance.
Most young people I speak to a lot, somebody dying is for older people, right? It's
Yeah.
certainly not for younger people. And we all think that, certainly, but
Mhm.
sadly, we know that's not always true. And, many people in the insurance part of the business are generally talking about a needs analysis for life insurance. They talk about, if you were to pass away today, how much would it take to pay off your home and pay off your debts and prepare your spouse for, to be able to make it without you being here. They missed the key element of you really need to replace that income. And if you have a 30-year-old that's going to work till 65, they have a few $1 million of earnings, at a low spot. They need to have that protected much more than, maybe a $500,000 house. So very important. And we show that a lot, and people, they do get it when they see that number. It just hadn't been explained to them.
Absolutely. And then next, take advantage of your lower earning years and today's historically low tax rate. And that means open and invest in a Roth account.
Looking at that chart, we can see historically rates have been a lot higher.
Mm.
And I personally fear we're going to see a lot closer to some of those marks, maybe not the high mark of in the 40s, but we're going to see that with the $35 trillion deficit. I was looking this morning in 2008, that was under $12 trillion, and now we have a $35 trillion. Rates seem high, tax rates, marginal rates seem high, but they're really at an all-time low. It's a great idea to move some of that over to Roth now in your younger years when your earning potential still coming. So great idea to do that.
Absolutely. I wish I had opened a Roth in my 20s or 30s. All right. Next, Larry, you say these investors should also have savings in a brokerage account. Why is that?
Well, with the banks, we usually fall to the banks, or kind of that's where we kind of normally navigate to, and that's because we're getting, right now 4 or 5% money market rates or CD rates for 8, 12 months. But with that, it's still taxed at ordinary income tax rates. So your highest marginal rate, so you're not getting quite the bang for the buck. Where with a brokerage account, you have access to a lot more different investments that have a lot higher potential yield, and that you also may have a more favorable tax rate, capital gains rate, or
Mm.
maybe if you're not selling some of that, you may not have to pay tax on it right away. So you can grow that money a lot more tax efficient.
I love that you're always thinking about taxes, Larry. And then
My
last,
favorite.
you suggest they consider opening a 529 account if they have children.
Yeah, Aaron, I've mentioned before, I really didn't care a lot for a 529 because some of the restrictions it had pre-Secure Act. The
Yeah.
Secure Act changed that to where before parents were weary of putting their money someplace that maybe my child gets a good job, or maybe they get a scholarship or something, and now what am I going to do with that money? I'm going to be taxed on that. The Secure Act changed it where you can convert that into a Roth and give them a leg up for retirement. So I really become a huge fan now of the 529.
Right. So much more flexible now. Larry, if somebody has questions about making up for lost time or making sure that they are on the right track again for building generational wealth, how can they reach you with questions?
They can give us a call at our office at 615-216-1048, or they can just go on our website at www.sfawealth.com, and there's a spot there that they can ask questions or review some of our information.
Perfect. All right, Larry, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Aaron.